The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. Don't worry, if you miss out on this and don't buy it, there's probably gonna be The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered Part 5 in a month or two at this point. It's an absolute joke.
Today, we're taking a quick look at The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. This is the PS4 game ported to PS5 with faster speeds, smoother graphics, DualSense controller support, a couple extras, a new mode. We've been playing a review copy for a few days now, and this footage is captured on PS5 and is spoiler-free.
Bro, it's such a joke, honestly. People hate these remasters. The Last of Us, the company behind it, Naughty Dog, I think it was Naughty Dog, right? They have now more remasters than they have games. That's crazy.
If you've managed to avoid everything, good for you, man. Now, love or hate the game, whoever you are, they're charging $10 for this.
I love the idea that this thing hunts by sound, but you just, brutally bolting over the counter and then just slamming your heels on the ground. That's fine. That's good. That's okay. Crazy.
As an upgrade if you have the game on PS4. This is the type of update most people are probably going to want for free, myself included, but if you're going to charge for it, $10 is fine. There's some extra stuff here. It's way better than it becoming a whole new game you need to go out and buy for full price again. And it's a perfectly fine, if small, upgrade package for fans of the game. This isn't an update as big as The Last of Us 1 Remastered.
It's the She-Hulk. What a time to be alive. Everyone loved that. By the way, Season 2 of The Last of Us show is happening. And my God almighty, am I not gonna watch it? I hated the TV series. I'm not gonna lie, it is what it is. If you liked it, good on you. More power to you. But I absolutely hated that shit. Dude, how little sense it made. And I understand it's like the people who really love the game kind of like the show. Because, well, they made the show in the worst way possible. They took the show and tried to recreate it one-to-one. Not the show, but the game, and tried to recreate the one-to-one in the show. And do all of these big nods that people like. Dude, I absolutely hate it. When you're making a show into a game, you need to make changes, okay? You can't make it one for one. It's not gonna work. It's gonna be trash. You can't do it for a game to a TV show. You can't make it from a book to a game. You can't. None of these things translate one to one. You need to make changes. For example, in the show, bro, I absolutely hate it. Joel's motivation for not just putting a bullet into Ellie's disgusting, putrid, disfigured head, because the actress is just absolutely repulsive and probably, deficient, autistic or something, disgusting. The fact that Joel never put a bullet in her head because he never had a single motivation to not just end her and go on his own and save his brother. I absolutely hate it. They never gave us a single reason why he wouldn't do it. Because his whole motivation is because of his weakness, he lost people. And now his brother is gonna be... now his brother is gone, and he's gonna lose him too. But he's gonna waste time helping someone that he doesn't know and potentially puts him and everyone else in danger. He should have put a bullet in her head. The motivation just doesn't make any sense. Oh, she grew on him. Bullshit. Disgusting, stupid, and dumb. The way he couldn't save his daughter, and now at no point does he even have a remote connection to Ellie. At no point in the series does he even have a remotely viable connection with Ellie other than annoying, and she's the reason that his friend is dead. And everything's bad. It's stupid. And one of the things that pissed me off the most was the first time they go into a abandoned house and they hear clickers. And it's like, Ellie's like, what's happening? What's happening? And they're like, shh. They have all the time in the world to explain to her what the fuck is happening, what clickers are, but they don't. That's real smart. That's stupid. That's so stupid. You should have actually gotten killed there. It is just disgustingly stupid. Okay? She doesn't know what's happening, and you're just... It would have helped if you just explained what's gonna happen. Instead of putting every... I hate the show so much. It's just autistic.
Game already had all those bells and whistles, so it's not this massive new wow factor thing. But if you've never played or were waiting for a reason to replay, this definitely helps. The game already looked great on PlayStation 4. Just, kind of a step back for a second.
Let's go, She-Hulk!
Released in June of 2020. I know it feels like it was just 2020, but 2020 was actually a long time ago now when you think about it. That was June, and then the PS5 released a few months later in the fall. So this was kind of like the swan song of the PS4, like one of the last big exclusive titles. And like the end of every console life cycle, you usually get the most impressive visuals because the developers have really mastered working with that hardware, with that tech.
It doesn't look like these zombies are even trying, honestly.
So it's a long way of saying The Last of Us 2 already looked great. Now it has higher resolutions and better frame rates. It actually already had a 60 FPS mode that was patched in a while ago, I believe. But how it works now is that you can get 1440p 60 in performance mode, which looked very good to me, or native 4K at 30. You can also take advantage of variable refresh rate if your TV supports it.
Wow.
And that's a good bonus if you got it here. Now, in the marketing...
I don't know about all of this garbage. All I'm seeing is people posting on Twitter comparisons from the PS4 and the PS5, and it's the same fucking image. Because there are no differences in some points. Like, this was why everyone was so mad about the first time they did this. Because the changes were literally who gives a single F.
Materials. Sony says the graphics have been improved with some better textures and lighting tech, level of detail stuff, but I didn't really notice it too much personally.
Well, congratulations. No one noticed it. That's the joke.
Here and there with certain specific things, but really, it's close to the same looking game to my naked eye. Still...
Oh, really? Again, you're slow on figuring out the joke here.
Even more than when it was originally patched in. The frame rate seems super lock solid here, and I had 0 dips that I could see. And it all loads much faster now, which is nice. You notice the faster loading, especially with like jumping into all the little extra stuff here. Like aside from some accessibility options, like more new ways for people to play, there's some lost levels you can check out, developer commentary, and a guitar free play mode. That's actually pretty fun. The minigame from the main game is the same, but now you can play to your heart's content and swap characters and locations.
That is... Bro, I'll give you 50 pieces of money for that. Whoa, freestyle guitar playing. Man, wow, my dreams have come true.
And even guitar tones. It's weird how accurate it is. Like the fingers play the right chords. The fingers are actually on the right strings. It's a little thing.
I mean, I don't know on which strings, which chords is it supposed to be right, honestly. Yet I'm gonna magically say I don't think that matters, because that's not a big thing, okay? You have putting the fingers animation-wise on the right things doesn't seem like something that you should be overly ecstatic about, as one might say.
It's not a big deal, but yeah, wanted to commend it. Now, the biggest thing with this package, and arguably the best, is the new game mode called No Return. It's really good. It's a roguelike survival mode. So you pick a character, you jump into a level with some modifiers and try to survive. In between levels, you're then back at like you're teleported into a little home base where you can buy more weapons, customize and mod them, and upgrade your character. There's a bunch of upgrade tracks to unlock more playable characters and skins just by playing, putting time into it, completing certain challenges, and getting through scenarios. In this mode, you access a map.
Now, admittedly, I will say, at least that's kind of cool.
Like a planning board, and then you can jump into different kind of like randomized missions that do a good job of shaking things up. Like on one hand, you're hiding as a bunch of soldiers rush in. In another scenario, you're just trying to fend off clickers until a timer runs out. You're either like hunter or hunted in a lot of these situations, and it's a good kind of rotating playlist of just murder violence.
I love the idea that he can't see her. I think that's hilarious. Watch this.
This is a real.
I mean, it's fun to play, but at the same time, you're just like, oh, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny from the side. You know, watching this from the side is funny.
Really good way to just play the core gameplay here, which I think is really solid. You know, it's still on like the heavier, clunkier side of a third-person action game, but it's really smooth. There's a high level of control, a lot of different things you can do. You can craft, you can throw things, you can dodge, you can do melee, you can shoot, you can go prone, you can dive on the ground. If you really get like high-level Last of Us play is actually a very cool thing. So I think this mode is special because it encourages you to try different strategies, mess around, get aggressive, and do what you can. I've watched people for years now on YouTube do like crazy awesome no-hit speed runs of The Last of Us where they're just beasting through, diving around, one-hitting enemies on like the hardest difficulty mode, and it's so impressive. And I've always played these games very slowly and carefully. So this mode really opens up the possibility of you just going buck wild, running around, throwing a brick at a dude, diving behind cover, tossing a Molotov at someone else super fast. Like, because death is inevitable and you're really just kind of going for scores, it's really fun to just mess around and change up your strategies. This mode isn't like the biggest thing in the world, but I just think it's a lot of fun. I think The Last of Us gameplay in small bites like this is just a blast, because if we're talking about the main game here, like the actual adventure, like look, this is the Last of Us Part 2 remastered. They didn't change the story if you don't like the story. But I said it when it released, and I'll say it now, like I didn't love it as much as the first game, and one of my bigger criticisms was that towards the end,
oh, look at that, everyone's favorite part.
Really dragged on. Like I think it kind of outstayed its welcome a little bit. Of course, just personal preference. But whereas by the end of the adventure, I was like, oh my god, how many bricks am I gonna throw at dudes' heads? The new no return mode.
Damn right, She-Hulk. By the way, can we get like, you know, a wave going of asking for an actual, obviously trans person to play her in the second season? I mean, that's the dream, ain't it? Because instead of an actual trans person who is rightfully deserving of the role of She-Hulk, they're just gonna put a relatively decent looking woman, and that is unacceptable. It is the current year, okay? The Last of Us TV show. There's a storm brewing. No, wait. There's a storm. There's a monsoon inside me. Oh, let's go, baby.
Essentially makes me go, hell yeah, I can't wait to throw more bricks at dudes' heads. Because, like I said, there's an upgrade track, there's like a little bit of things to progress through, there's a really good and pretty in-depth scoring.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, like, the idea of the mode is cool, but then you get treated like some kind of brain-damaged monkey, and here's your rewards. I skin! Yeah, there you go.
through. There's a really good and pretty in-depth scoring system. So I think some of those hardcore players that love like maximum play are...
Bruh, what the fuck was that? Let's check it again. Ah! What is that? Skin Badlands. Yeah, it's some Furiosa type garbage.
System. So
let's check. Okay. So first, how is this even an Abby skin? What the fuck?
I think some of those hardcore
Is that supposed to be like a Captain Marvel reference with the thing? Dude, is she gonna kill is she gonna put a guy in a hospital? Just probably she is.
Players that love
Jesus
like maximum play
are
gonna have fun with that. And then again, like I said, you have the whole main adventure. It's a lengthy one. It's a divisive one. Some people love it. Some people hate it, like I said. But it does a lot with the sequel when you think about it. It expands this world. It adds like a creepy, spooky cult. It adds new, horrific monsters. And I'm curious to see like where the series could go after this. The way I looked at it, like I didn't think the original Last of Us needed a sequel, but now here we are. That Band-Aid is ripped off. So where does the world go beyond this? I was really looking forward to the Factions multiplayer mode that Naughty Dog was working on, but that, of course, has now been officially canceled. So I'm just left wondering, like...
Oh, really? They canceled something you liked? Who would have expected?
What the future of this franchise is. Is it going to continue on? Probably, because it's like a big...
It's going to be 57 different anniversary editions exactly like Skyrim. It's going to be great. And then Microsoft is going to buy them and cry themselves to sleep because mistakes were made. Like, currently Microsoft is crying themselves to sleep every time they think about how Bethesda and Blizzard are performing. The small things in life, boys. The small things in life. Don't worry. If Blizzard dies, someone just buys World of Warcraft's IP, and there you go. And hopefully makes it better. If Bethesda dies, guess what? Someone's just buying the IP of Fallout and probably making it better. It is what it is. Never be sad about the gaming company going bankrupt. Smile and be happy, because they went bankrupt because they made shit products and they were trash. It is what it is.
Television show now. The brand power is stronger than ever. And honestly, that's probably the biggest reason why now The Last of Us Part 2 is completely beefed up, spruced up for the modern PlayStation 5 console. Again, the frame rate's really nice, but some people have been playing with better frame rates because of a patch. The DualSense stuff is great. It worked really well with The Last of Us Part 1 with like that upgrade, and it works similarly here. And I actually think it heightens the experience.
Wait, is that an enemy and he's just like... What?
It just adds a little bit of oomph to the gameplay and this whole adventure. This big, sweeping, ambitious adventure that takes some big swings. Those big swings might miss for some people. But yeah, without like opening up and just like re-reviewing the entire game, the entire story, the levels, everything like that, I don't really think we need to do that again. Most people's minds are made up. The bottom line is, like, if you are into the game, this is like I said at the start, a good reason to replay it at some point. Not going to keep you here all day, but I did want to just get this nice, shiny 4K gameplay up on screen for you here. So that's it before you buy. You know how this goes by now. I give you some pros, some cons, and some personal opinion. And
hey, it is what it is. Anyway, that was Game Ranks. Pretty funny stuff. I can't wait to see She-Hulk do She-Hulk things. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Anyway, this was Quizzer Said, and thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.